Hey, my friend, how are you? Tuko Riada here, huh? Announcing my recovery from a long weekend. A little bit of a weekend here that involved a lot of things that I had to deal with, but I'm back. I'm glad you're still there. You're a viewer, you're a subscriber, you're a curious onlooker. Hey, step into the family and take a seat. And let's discuss a few things 6 days before the World Championships. And you know, we're gonna be having what we call the hot, hot highlights. But before we get there, let's just do some homework. Let's not pretend nothing is moving, nothing is happening, because there's movements, because we live in a world of movements. Nothing is static. And talking of movement, the young man Yared Nuguse went to the Fifth Avenue New Balance mile race this last weekend to find himself maybe at the top of the podium after failing to make the World Championship. He had the liberty. He had to redeem himself. He had to find a winning streak or a winning end to his season. Yared Nuguse, the American bronze medalist Olympiad, my man, what does he do? He does very well. He wins 347. And it is good for him. I think you want to finish maybe the season with a win and something that you can put on the trophy, on the case, maybe beside you and say, you know what? After all, I didn't finish that bad. That was Yared Nuguse winning in that one. But I thought he had a good field. Josh Owie was there, and Hobbs Kessler, Parker Wolf, and Nick Giggs. Good field, good competition. And I think this is where you find out that Yared can work on that finish. That finish is what is lacking. He's showed us in the past that he can finish very well. He did that in the Olympics when you could see him medaling and he got a bronze. So I think for him, I think he can use that as template to launch his season next year and see how he can be a better finisher, because Yared is not a bad racer. He's just not a great finisher. Maybe that's the story of his season, and at least he redeems himself this weekend by winning that event. At 347 to close the season is not bad at all. It just shows that he can tweak a few things in his training patterns and maybe the coach. Some people have been asking the question, does he have a good coach who can give him that winning mentality? Because in his resume right now, he's lacking a lot of that winning. He's always in the conversation of competing and being in the right place in the middle of the race. But I think his challenge is how to make sure you cross the finish line at the top of the podium. Well, there you have it, Yared. I think it's a good thing for him. He should be proud of that. He used the right energy. It took, I think it was very mental for him when you think about his season. How do you close the season? Good closure, 347. Winner, Yared Nuguse. Well, this episode wasn't just about Yared. Let's have a preview on the World Championship men 100 meters. I'll give my take. My take might be all over the map, but this is my take. The 100 meters right now, if you were to say, let's use the times of the year so far that we've accumulated from different athletes. At the top of the charts is a Jamaican Keshane Thompson. He has a 984. That's the fastest time we have this year. And the list goes on. What is missing at even top 8 is the gold medalist Noah Lyles. He hasn't had a great season in 100 meters. Let's just be honest. And let's be very concerned if we are being honest at the same time. But again, we are talking of Noah Lyles, a man who has winning pedigree up in his database. So we know that he can win when things are right for him and when he can deliver on big stage. That's what I'm trying to say. But it could be a season here whereby we are trying to question that in 100 meters. Let's not talk about 200 yet. 100 meters, we've noticed one thing. He hasn't had that winning finish. And I think his Achilles right now, his nemesis, what I call his biggest challenge right now are the Jamaicans. Just being honest here. And I think if if we don't even look at that closely, it might be some of those things will be revealed as the championship rolls around. Oblique Seville has beaten him twice. We have that in record. We can talk about it day in, day out. He beat him in London and he beat him in Zurich. Oblique Seville has the numbers on Noah Lyles as we speak. He's a young, upcoming sprinter from Jamaica, but he seems to know what it takes to beat Noah Lyles. It's not just this season, even last season, he was the only one who beat him last year. So he knows how to beat Noah Lyles. He has one of the best off-the-block starting movements we've seen, or he has that great start. He's a bullet coming out of blocks. And that is the template he's been using against Noah Lyles all the time he's beaten him. The fast 60 meters. I've talked about that in the women category too. There are some great starters. 100 meters is how you get off the blocks. Noah Lyles has been struggling in 100 meters coming off the blocks. If you watch all his races all season, he hasn't been sharp. He hasn't been as great. Has he been doing better in his training? We'll find out in a few days. But so far, if we have to say the season thus far, Noah Lyles has been found wanting in 100 meters. That's a fact. You can look all you want. He's been saying the right things. He's a good talker too, and he can talk himself into the podium. We know that. Noah Lyles can use his language to intimidate. He's very good at that. The question is, will it play out in the World Championship? Because the rounds will determine how you deliver when comes the final or the semis. Keshane Thompson is another juggernaut. He's another big-time favorite in 100 meters. He's big time. He's the one with the best times in the world thus far. He knows how to win the 100 meters. So, 100 meters right now might be a conversation for those who are really looking closely and seeing who has the edge. You always never discount an Olympic medalist. You never discount them. You never discount the Noah Lyles of this world in 100 meters. They know how to navigate the heats and the rounds. And this trash talk and intimidation and looking down and maybe creating some drama to get into your head. Noah Lyles could use those tactics in the World Championship and tell people, I've been working on something. Here we go. What you got? He might start doing that. And trash talking 100 meters can be a language of subduing some of these young athletes like maybe Seville or Oblique. Will it work? We'll find out. But the American arrogance should not be dismissed here. They know how to win on big stage. Mark my words. So as much as I'm saying Oblique Seville, the Jamaican, has had the numbers of Noah Lyles, that might not play out come the World Championship when the camera is on you and the rounds are finding you. Will you have what it takes? And Noah Lyles looking around and says, what you got? And beating his chest. That could be a factor. It could be a mental game through the rounds. Will the Jamaicans reciprocate that? Will they play up or they play down? We'll find out. Does Keshane Thompson and the others who are ahead of him in times thus far this year be able to work out and figure out how to navigate being lane to lane next to Noah Lyles when he comes to the blocks and when he does his thing? That's going to be the challenge. It's going to be a mental game. It won't be even anything else. Because that's when it's all about those split seconds. It's about all that it takes is the mental toughness. Will you able to be deliver? So thus far, I can tell you this. In 100 meters, Noah Lyles hasn't shown us what it was for him in the Olympics of last year in Paris. He hasn't shown us anything close to that. And we haven't seen it. Will we see it in Tokyo in a few days? Right now, he doesn't look like a favorite. But the first rounds will start to tell us who is Noah Lyles. But as we speak right now, the Jamaicans seems to be telling us they are no pushovers either. It's going to be a mind game. Who has an edge? I can't tell you. But if you want to put everything again, let's go to 200 and look at 200. 200, if you look at the 200 series this year, Noah Lyles, Letsile Tebogo, the Botswanese, Kenny Benrek, Kung Fu Kenny, and what we saw in the championship in Eugene and all that drama. Noah Lyles seems to have comeback approach. He seems to know how to finish the 200 thus far. He has the best times in the 200. He's beaten the, the Olympic gold medalist in Letsile Tebogo. He has the numbers on Kenny, Kung Fu Kenny Benarek, his teammate. That tells me something here that Noah Lyles double dipping on or looking at both events, the 200 and the 100 meters. We don't know what we're going to see yet. In the 200, I give him an edge because he seems to be better. He seems to be a better finisher in those two events because in both races, if you look at Kenny Kung Fu and Letsile Tebogo, he came back on them in the last 20 meters. He knows how to come back. He's challenged a little bit in 100 meters because of the distance. He has never come back on Oblique Seville, the Jamaican. He has never come back. Oblique just puts a gap on him and maintains it. Letsile Tebogo and Kenny Kung Fu in the 200, they tend to put a little gap on him, but not good enough. And that's why he has come back on them. So for me, the 200 and the 100 meters become two different events thus far this season. But like I say, Noah Lyles knows how to perform on big stage championship caliber of competition. We'll see. But as we speak right now, it's very hard to anoint the winner in those two events. I can give an edge to Noah Lyles thus far in the 200 because of how he has come back on these other competitors in Letsile and Tebogo and Kenny Kung Fu. But in the 100 meters, he has to make a case for us to see who he is in the first early rounds of the 100 meters. So, there you have it. I'm just looking at those events a little bit closer, but I'm not very quick to say who has what. That was my preview, my friend. In Tuko Riada, we preview, we take a back seat, and let the boys and girls do their thing on the track. In Tokyo, Tuko Riada, we'll be right there with you guys, telling you what happened, what might have happened, and what could be another drama of Tokyo in about 5 days. Talk to you later. Tuko Riada. Keep subscribing, keep liking, and keep telling me what you have in mind. Let's communicate. Talk to you later on the other side of the pillow. Love. Happy Sunday. See you later.